All right, human beings on planet Earth, we are back for the first time, January 2022. It's your boy, the Gridmaster, Sir Aaron Twist, the Serpent Prophet, as he's known on the East Coast, and your boy Chad Diamond Damberite. We are back for this full wolf moon in Cancer. Ow!
Sing it out, people. Sing it out.
We are here, 2022. Aaron, how you feeling, brother? How was your new year? Bringing it in the end of the year.
New Year felt like it ended on a really good foot. We kind of took everything over the last couple of years and we're actually able to feel like we were at a point we can move past it. You know?
Mm-hmm.
And everybody's kind of been struggling with that right now. It's been feeling stuck and uncertain and just not really knowing based on the whole climate of everything. And I think we're slowly getting to that point where people are actually coming back out. Not in that false hope of making everything where it's supposed to be again, but okay, let's take those steps out with caution, with intent, with, clear sight and vision, less, the blind wandering around and, following that strict day-to-day programming because, half of us haven't been in the day-to-day programming anymore.
Yeah.
It's mostly by choice. And by sticking to that choice, you see the effects that are happening. We saw it the other day driving by what was a Taco Bell or something, and it said it was $16 an hour.
Yeah.
People they're catching on that, hey, we're not settling for this shit. So if you want us to be part, you have to do your part.
Yeah, pay me.
Right? It's equal exchange. We're here for it or get the fuck out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
I like that.
All right.
I like that. Woo! Way to starting it off raw.
Right?
All right. What do we got in the book? The Magic Book of Serpents, Volume 1.
Today, as we said, it's a wolf moon. It is the first full moon of the year. It's in Cancer.
2022, y'all. 2022.
And by looking at what we have here, we have Axinite down at the bottom, which is most of what we're working with is nude right now and actually kind of obscure to even work with. So I'm going to break them all down before we even get started. That way we can have an idea of what's going on. But yeah, Axinite is a calcium aluminum borosilicate. It's roughly around the same hardness as quartz at 6 to 7.5. It's an earth star and root chakra stone. It is both pyroelectric and piezoelectric, which means under heat and pressure, it creates electricity.
Nice.
It's a very strong grounding stone, brings deep earth energies into the body via the earth star chakra. Where, sometimes if you're just focusing on your feet, it's going to come in this way. Where if it's coming in from the earth star, it's coming this way. Straight up. You're not pulling in any surface level environmental shit. It's coming straight from the earth, straight to the earth star, straight to the root. None of this other shit going on. It helps to increase our strength and endurance, aids to help enable change in going with life's flow, and change what needs to be changed without opposing one's own life. It's helpful for both physical and spiritual body healing, especially anything dealing with our feet. It helps to release anything that's hampering our progress, inspires friendship, and exhibits energies to help stabilize all relationships.
Beautiful.
It's grounding in all endeavors. So whatever you're going to do this month, just keep in mind, it'll be a lot easier to be grounded in your decisions. And then it also helps to guide and move in an intelligent direction in regards to your pursuits, navigating behind the scenes while facilitating focus on the mechanisms of the situation. So it's you're the mechanic and the engineer and the architect right now. So it's you get to do it all because it's your life. Like no one else gets to do all that shit for you. Next, we're going to jump over here to these little guys. This is Lodestone or Magnetite. And, yes, they're magnetic. These guys here, some magnetized Hematite.
Hematite.
But it's like you can kind of feel it a little bit, but like this isn't a very strong magnet unless to itself.
Yep.
But Magnetite or Lodestone is a little bit less common than Hematite because of how it forms, and it's a little bit rare, but it's an iron oxide. It's cubic formation. It's a little bit softer than quartz in the 5.5 to 6.5. It connects the root to the Earth star, so it ensures this is happening. And also it aligns everything else. So anything that's coming up through your root chakra, through that Earth star, is going all the way up to the crown and beyond. It's got a high polarity and very magnetic. It's in the name.
Mm-hmm.
And it's regularly used in magnetic therapies. Again, go figure. But it can be utilized to help stabilize our biomagnetic fields, realign meridians that are out of whack, and can even assist with that flow of the earth energies into the root chakra, as well as helping to heal the earth itself.
Beautiful.
Right? Again, very strong grounding, and it has the ability, due to its polarity, to both energize or sedate as needed.
I'm gonna let you keep going because I'm liking that you're explaining each crystal, but sounds like we're going to Ground Town.
We are going to Ground Town. This is going to be very heavy grounding. Like everything here has some grounding aspect to it, and or starts at the root chakra and comes up.
Straight up the poop hole.
Because, with last month, with all that manifestation kind of stuff, we were sitting there, we were writing our blueprints.
I felt like I was manifesting like crazy last month. So yeah,
we were manifesting everything we want to bring in. Now we're breaking ground and setting that foundation so that everything that we're planning on has a place to grow from.
The foundation,
right? And if this is solid, what's coming next? Ease. It's gonna grow. It's gonna do as you need to do, as long as you remember to do what needs to happen.
Beautiful.
And I was actually looking forward a couple months to what we got coming, and a lot of it is very kind of following the process of either planting a tree or building a house, because next month everything's blue.
I say we run with that this year. Like we're starting January off. So December 2021, we were manifesting, we were putting things into play, and now we're starting off with the foundation.
Right.
I like that idea of maybe relating back to that every month to see where we're at with the grid.
Yeah, because before, when we first started doing this, I wasn't fully thinking ahead like that. Mm-hmm. But it's as I'm looking at these things and seeing what we're doing and seeing what's going on, it's literally turning the pages of a book. And we tend to forget what was on the pages beforehand. So, so by just bringing it all back in, we can get deeper into it and see, okay, we have been doing this. Oh, before I move forward, what was I working on last month? What was I focusing on? What was I not focusing on? And moving forward from there.
All right, what's next, brother?
Okay. But so back to the magnetite, though. As it works that polarity energy, it's also a very good love attractor and helps bringing a balanced perspective and trusting in your own intuition. So it's if during this time you are feeling a kind of magnetic pull to someone, listen to it. Trust it. Mm-hmm. It might not be romantic, but it could still lead to a great friendship or connection that you wouldn't have had otherwise.
Right.
If the opportunity to converse and exchange is there, do it.
Yes, or swap fluids. Yes, continue.
If that's where it's going, that's where it's going. You know what I'm saying? But make sure it's equal exchange, right?
Equal exchange energy. I like it. That's a way to start the foundation off.
Right? Because it's also, helps to alleviate negative emotions while drawing in positive ones, working just like a magnet. If your polarity doesn't match up with this, it's going away. But if it's a like polarity, or actually, swap that. If it's something that's a like polarity, which is that wall we're putting up is like, this is what I don't want. If it fits into that spectrum, it stays the fuck away because it's matching that polarity. If it's not, then it's able to come right in. Because, hey, you don't have all these bad qualities. Let's see what that good shit you got. Like, let's really get into this, right? Also, with all that being said, this can also help to remove yourself from detrimental situations and places, and promotes objectivity, So it pulls you out of bad stuff, that very situational, subjective stuff. It's like, okay, what's the objective that I'm trying to achieve? Why wasn't I getting to it? And how do I move forward?
Yeah, fuck yeah.
It's like, okay, I'm not going to do this. I'm going to go right instead of left, And of course, we're back to that polarity aspect, it helps to balance both intellect and emotions together, which we need a lot more of.
For real.
We all have a tendency to be a little too much of one side or the other. It's all about the balance and coming together. And then you get to move over to this lovely stuff. Lovely, that's nice. Shiny.
Beautiful. Let me get a close-up of that. Yeah, beautiful. Nice. Yeah, it looks nice.
And then this is it on a matrix with some barite.
That's beautiful.
Right. This one's a quartz matrix. And then we got a lovely little cluster that has the galena here, some pyrite over here, and those little black dots are ferrolite. So, fun little cluster.
Nice.
But galena here is a lead sulfate.
These guys?
Yeah. And being that it has lead in it, don't put it in your mouth.
Yeah.
Don't let your kids lick it. That's a bad idea. Don't let your animals lick it. And if you're overly cautious about just the fact you touched it, just make sure you go wash your hands.
Shit, I just almost put my finger in my eye as you said that.
Right?
It's like just picked out.
Holding it for a little bit's not gonna really fuck you up. It's just, don't be stupid about it, Don't make like a wand out of these and use it as a depository. Bad idea. You know what I mean? But in these guys, they're super soft. So like you don't even want to get them wet because they'll actually dissolve in water. Wow. But Galena here is a stone of harmony, creating balance on all levels and harmonizing physical and spiritual planes. It facilitates holistic healing, meaning it's good for doctors, homeopaths, herbalists, energy practitioners. That encourages them to look deeper into the issues at hand and the problems. So it's like they're not just going to look at the surface level. They're going to go, okay, what's the symptomology? Where did this come from? What's happening in the environment? Where is this really stemming from? Because, you might feel pain here, but it's actually because you got a jacked up shit down here. You're not just going to look at the surface. You're going to go deeper to actually figure out what's causing the imbalance. And again,
dig deep,
right? And again, this is a grounding stone. It helps to anchor our souls into this incarnation and assists in centering the self. So it's really good at meditation and for people who, struggle with the human experience, because these meat suits are rough. And most of us who are very metaphysically and spiritually inclined tend to have souls that are way bigger than our bodies can contain.
Right. But I've recently, just to throw this out there, I used to always say this meat suit and like this sack of skin, whatever. But now, I've been the last 2021, my goal is I treated my body right and what I'm putting into it.
Yep.
2022, my message to myself is like my body is my best friend. So I'm trying to remember that yes, we do have like a body, spirit, soul, whatever you want to call it.
Right.
But I believe our body, I'm starting to believe that I'm trying not to call my shit a meat suit anymore because our soul is in this our body is part of our soul. It's in this for a reason.
Exactly.
And you can call it meat suit if you want.
Right.
I'm just saying for myself, like, just with my goals of like my body's my best friend, and that's really helping me like love myself too.
Right.
Is like I'm trying to think like mind, body, and spirit. It's like seems like 3 different things, but like it's everything. Like it's all the same thing. It's all one. Like
Right.
we're supposed to be in this body is how I'm supposed to be.
Exactly.
Our soul is here. Like it's part of our soul.
Exactly. Like it goes back to this concept of people being hyper fixated on things like past lives or parallel shit, all the universe,
all the
stuff.
fun shit.
Like it's cool to learn, but what the fuck's it really doing for you in this lifetime? Like, I'm sorry, if you were Cleopatra in your past life, I don't mean you are now. Stop acting like a bitch. You know what I mean?
You dig?
Right?
Yep.
Or, maybe you were Attila the Hun's, like, grandson. It doesn't give you a right to go and rape, plunder, and pillage.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly.
It's like, we are who we are this lifetime. Like, we are we are our families. We are our friends. We are everything that we've chosen to do, chosen not to do. And, like, it's not just one thing that makes us who we are. It's everything. And all that other stuff is really just like icing on the cake details. It's not,
it's fun.
It's not the meat and potatoes.
Yeah, it's fun.
Right? Like, yeah, it's fun, and it can help to give a higher sense of self, but it also can lead to delusion. Where it's like, play around with some Galena,
ground
out of it, and and if you work with Owl because he's the illusion breaker.
Yep. Sorry to send you off on a rant there. I'm just trying to like approach, without calling it a meat suit because I want to love this. Like I want to love myself and like.
And I completely get that. And it's actually awesome because like it fits,
My body is my best friend. Right?
Because like our physical body is essentially the container for everything. And if the container's cracked and broken and bloated and like not able to really withstand anything, it's not really there.
Right, our body is literally a physical manifestation of what our soul and spirit wanted, right? I guess.
And it's like our mentality and our emotions are the things that people see within that container, whereas like our soul is the part that isn't visible because it's just the glue holding everything together. Because our souls basically decided, hey, we're going to take this, and this, combine it all together, and be this person. Some people, it's a bit of a hot mess. Other people, like, they thrive and strive and do great things.
Yeah, regardless, I feel like our soul's having a good time because it's getting to witness all types of weird shit.
Right?
Yeah. All right, my bad. Continue. What's next?
It's all good. But one last little thing about the Galena here is it helps to open the mind, expanding ideas, dissolving self-limiting mental assumptions from the past.
There you go.
So again, just kind of filled in that last little spot on our own. Because we were already getting there. And now we're going to jump over to these little fun guys here. These guys are beautiful. This here is Stibnite in a couple different formations. That lovely silverish luster here.
Yeah, that's a beauty. Show the big guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Great stuff.
What are those called again?
Stibnite.
Stibnite, okay.
Yep. It's an antimony sulfide. Antimony is one of the periodic elements, and it's in the categories of the metals, which is why the nice shiny luster. And it's though it's really, really soft. It's only got a hardness of 2.
Wow.
Right? But as you can feel, it is dense as shit.
Super dense. I want to think that it only had a hardness of 2 by feeling it.
Yeah. Back in the old days, they would actually utilize antimony to help separate gold from its impurities because this metal would actually pull out the impurities from the gold and bring it into itself while leaving the gold alone.
Wow.
Crazy. And with that kind of concept put into mind, when used metaphysically, it helps to separate the pure from the dross, or the impure.
Yep.
While helping to release any entity possession or negative energies. So this is something that if you're doing any kind of energy removal work, you utilize this with a couple selenite and chlorite included quartz to make a triangle out of it, and it basically acts as a little portal to suck all that shit in.
Nice.
Just make sure you close it so you don't have a portal open in your floor and your cat slips through. Oops. And let's see. It helps to provide protection from negative energy, obviously. But because it has that purifying and cleansing ability, it helps you to see the gold in your center, illuminating your gifts during difficult times. So it's
preach.
Regardless when shit's going down, you have gifts and abilities that no one else but you has to bring to the table to help in whatever situation's needed. Be it for yourself, for somebody else, whatever.
Preach it.
And it's it helps to remove the tentacles of kinky toxic relationships, especially after physical separation, working with cord cutting, past life release, and saying no to former partners. So it's if you got those exes that keep coming back or won't ever leave, regardless of what you're doing, you're feeling, you're seeing, this will help to get rid of them. Because ironically, when you remove that energetic and emotional connection on your end, it's basically going to have them wandering around in circles because they're sending out this need and narcissistic attachment, and there's nothing it's not latching onto anything. And it's not our responsibility to make sure that the narcissists fix themselves, because you can't fix a narcissist. Only they can. As I know. And one of the things I brought up earlier to you that goes right along with this moon is if you have the wolf as a spirit totem, antimony, Stibnite works very strongly with that.
Beautiful.
So yeah, it's all about staying pure, staying clean. If you don't want something, you can say no to it. You don't have to accept it because it forces itself on you.
Word.
Okay. Next, we go down to these little guys here.
Hematites.
Hematite. We have just some regular polished hematite here. We've got some magnetized hematite. And this is hematite and pyrite, or healer's gold. Just because out of all the things I have, the most common stone is the one I have the least. Because I'm not all that interested in hematite. I can get it whenever I want, wherever I want. Hell, I can go for a walk somewhere around here and find some in the freaking, on the side of a cliff or in a stream. So it's not in a small supply. And hematite is literally one iron molecule different than magnetite. So hematite has 2 iron molecules compared to Lodestone's 1.
Interesting.
So it's weird because the magnetism difference between the two is drastic. This is so strange. Again, it's a little bit softer than quartz in the 5.5 to 6.5 range. It is an Earth Star root and past life chakra stone. And if you don't know where your past life is, it's around here somewhere.
Nice.
It's kind of like that voice in the back of your head talking to you. That's everything it's saying isn't really relative to this lifetime, and yet there's an emotional connection behind everything it's saying. So it's this is making me feel weird, but I haven't had any personal trauma or this lifetime issues with this particular thing, but the little voice is saying, "Yeah, no, don't do it." For me, that one tends to be things like voodoo, necromancy. It's just like something about this just don't seem right. Like it's fascinating to watch, but I will never touch it. And
Agreed.
there's reasons for that shit. But yeah, hematite helps to enhance your personal magnetism.
Fuck yeah.
Along with that magnetite there. As well, it was used to be worn by warriors to help protect them as they go into battle. Because that sense of personal magnetism means when you're out fighting and your brothers are out there fighting and you have that like magnetic connection between each other, you're going to stay together. You're going to stay as a group. You're not going to venture out and go solo, try to, this is Sparta on somebody. Like, you're going to stay collective. You're going to stay together. You're going to work as a function. Because, yeah, it can help to heal any anger in the heart. And particularly any hurt felt by people who used to be or currently are warriors. And like again, that goes into past lives, this lifetime, veterans, current soldiers, because we know what war is like. Even if you haven't experienced war, you've seen what war is like in the aftermath of its victims, of the land, of the people who come back broken.
It's crazy,
right? So, but this particular stone will actually assist in any of that karmic turmoil that gets brought up from being a warrior, from having to fight all the time, from being in battle, or as you know, being the warrior archetype. One of the other main characteristics for that is holding space. And making others feel safe simply by your presence. Like, that just doesn't come out of nowhere. Like,
it's natural.
That is a natural warrior, like,
gift,
concept.
instinct.
Yeah, it's there in many levels. And again, the hematite's gonna bridge back over into the Galena here because it's a harmonizer for the mind, body, and soul, as we talked about earlier. It's all one thing. Like, it's effectively grounding. It removes excess energy and helps to separate your own emotions from the emotions of others. Because how many times do you come home pissed off because you were just having a conversation with somebody and they were very heated and emotional about the thing they were talking about, and the entire time you were neutral, but then once you're out on your own, you're now pissed off, you're heated, you want to like go fight somebody. It's because you just absorbed somebody else's anger. And like they just projected it out onto you. Instead of doing what I tell people all the time, if you're angry, you go out into the middle of the woods, no one around you, you just set those feet nice and firm on the ground, you pull up from the earth with as much as you can. Barefoot is best, by the way. Or if you can, put your feet in the dirt. Not right now, it's cold. But you do that and you just scream, or in the case of the wolf moon, howl. All that frustration and rage, just send it out into nature. It's like, you don't want to direct it at any of the trees. They didn't do anything. It is not their fault.
Unless you're hugging them afterwards.
Right? Right? But it's like, we have this symbiotic relationship with nature. Like, they take the CO2 that we breathe and give us back oxygen. When we die, we decompose and feed its roots with nutrients. When it dies or we cut it down, we use that tree to build our houses and shelters. We use those plants to make our food, to make our clothes. Like, it feeds off of us as we feed off of it. Just like you go in all angry and riled and frustrated, you let it out. You do it someplace like that that's open, that's full of nature. when you take that next breath in, that's going to be peace. It's going to be calm. It's going to be tranquility. You yell and scream inside of your house, like, yeah, 4+ walls that don't absorb anything. It's just bouncing that sound around until it's absorbed into your furniture, and now it starts to degrade. You absorb it back into yourself, and like you're still angry. Your animals absorb it and get sick. Like, all this shit happens because you're venting your frustrations in a way that's not actually productive. It's actually said that if you wear hematite on your right hand, it'll block your metaphysical awareness for those who struggle with it being too active. So you put it over there, shuts off. So you can actually function. Or if you put it on your left hand, you'll have all of its healing and protective abilities while still remaining open. Or I wouldn't necessarily use the left and right. I would take it more so your sending hand and your receiving hand.
I like that.
Because for each of us, it's different, you know? Because it represents the masculine and feminine, and not everybody's masculine on this side and feminine on this side. It's some people are masculine over here and feminine over here. It just happens. Like, we're not all the same. But yeah. It also helps to protect and guide the soul during metaphysical out-body travel. So, you go and do some deep searching on yourself. It'll give you an anchor to come back home. It's got very strong yang energies and helps to balance meridians, reduce any excessive yin, dissolves negativity and protects the aura. And yang is that masculine. Again, yin is feminine, and the aspect of the feminine being too much is like heavy emotions, density, being kind of stuck in like a dark night of the soul with not really seeing any ending kind of feeling. Like, that's excessive yin. I was not saying male, female, or anything like that. It's just, it's polarity.
It's a little too much yin.
Right? And I feel people have also gotten really hung up on the concept of masculine and feminine, where, granted, yes, there is an imbalance when it comes to society, but it does this all the time. But on a societal aspect, it's much slower. And as you can see, with current times, we're coming into more of that yin energy, or the masculine version of the yin. You know what I mean?
I feel that.
Because we've had a very feminine version of yang for a while, which I can go an entire video on talking about the societal polarities and shit. Like, we don't got time for that. But yeah, again, back to the warrior aspect, hematite's good for enhancing survivability. It's good for accessing your subconscious mind and breaking your focus onto unmet desires and drives. So it's like, if you forgot about some stuff, work with hematite, and it might help to remind you, oh yeah, this is what I want to focus on. This is what I want to keep my mind on. And then lastly, well, these guys here, we've talked about them before in a couple grids. This is Genesis Stone. It is jasper with both magnetite and hematite in it. So it's these two guys. So this is going to help to bring that in. Extra grounding, extra protection, extra just keeping shit away we don't want. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And then we got magnesium over here.
Just because
I wanted to add a little bit more of that silver color into this. And just the sheer fact that magnesium is good for 300 bodily processes, which you can essentially flip that, which 300 metaphysical properties.
Yeah.
Because it's de-stressing, it's balancing, it's equilibrium, it's all this shit. It's amazing. And then we got over here, we have the Amphibole, some Harlequin, Disco Fire. Basically, all of these are Hematite included quartz. All essentially do the same thing. Different names based off of quantity of hematite, how the hematite is within the structure.
Beautiful.
Which means it might throw in a little bit of trickster energy because that's Harlequin for you. But it's going to be very grounded trickster energy. With, a warrior looking over its shoulder like, really? Is that what you're going to do? I'm watching you do this shit right now. Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. And then lastly, this lovely stuff here, as Chad likes to call it, the Game of Thrones stone.
Mm-hmm.
It's the Iron Chair, or
AKA
the Iron Throne, AKA Black Kyanite.
Black Kyanite.
And Black Kyanite is an aluminum silicate. So we got a whole bunch of different metals going on today. We got some calcium and aluminum over here with borium and all that other shit, making it fun. We got iron oxides in these guys. We got lead over here. We got antimony over here. And then, yeah, all that aluminum. But let's see. This is within that quartz-ish, a little softer, but at the same level as quartz, is 5.5 to 7. This works to align all chakras, particularly starting at the root and going up. Because the way kyanite, I've noticed it to work, the different color variations kind of tell you where it starts. So it's like blue kyanite is going to start with the throat and spread out from there. Green kyanite, heart. Ocean kyanite is going to be high heart. Orange kyanite, sacral. Black kyanite is actually going to be earth star. So going back into what the Hematite's doing, the Galena's doing, we're coming in from that deep, deep energy, pulling it up and aligning it. So this is a powerful healing stone, keeping physical cells connected to the overall divine blueprint in order to maintain optimum health. So again, not only the blueprints that we've created, but the blueprints that were created for us will all be kind of kept in line with this. Helps to fully incarnate into this earth life, moving back into the in-between states for accessing knowledge for this current life plan and other lives when necessary. So this again is actually working with the hematite for that past life recall, but primarily focusing on, okay, what from this lifetime can you apply to this situation before you go to the old shit. Because that's not necessarily necessary. You know what I mean? Like, it's there, doesn't mean it applies. Because especially if you go back to like, oh yeah, I have a lifetime from like the 1700s and 1600s in like what's a good shitty place? Let's go England during those times. That mid Dark Ages. You know how fucked up it was back then? You really think that anything from the Dark Ages is useful right now? No. Like, these were people who believed that if anything was wrong with you, it was because you were possessed by the devil.
Yes, sir.
Like, no. Yeah. But you can also use this to access potential future lives to view the result of multiple choices that we've made in our present. And to create the most constructive future. So it's like you can utilize this to actually look forward, see how different choices and decisions and paths, like how they will square themselves out, how they will be answered and flow. And from there, actually use that information combined with what you know from your own lifetime, from what you've already experienced and learned, to make the proper choice. Because sometimes we got a lot of options ahead of us. And the only way to really achieve those things is to know which one to go for, is to essentially do thought projects and concept. Just like, okay, if I do this, I would have to take these particular steps, like going back to school, taking these kinds of classes, going to workshops, whatever. Oh, I need to move to a different location. I need to do this. Or it's like, if I want to do this, if I gotta get a house, I gotta make sure it has all these certain requirements before I can move forward. And it's like, you gotta weigh the options. And by putting yourself into a conceptual place, you will actually be able to experience those situations how you would experience them right now. Like, just putting yourself into that position of like, okay, something you want to do 5 years from now. Put yourself there now. What would it look like? What would you have had to do to get there? Is that feasible? Does this equate for any potential emergencies? Like, sometimes shit happens. It's life. Can't really do much about it. And if your plan doesn't allow wiggle room for potential issues, that's not really a viable plan. That's just an altruistic perfection. It's like, that's nice. It'd be great to be able to achieve that, but is it realistic? So by doing that, you can take a couple steps back and be like, okay, what if I go this way instead? It'll, instead of, having to go through all of those steps, I go through half of those steps. I don't get to be, for instance, one of my personal goals in life was to do some form of modern shamanic training. And in my mind, I saw it as like, if I do this and do this properly, I'm going and interacting with a tribal elder and being part of a community for like a decade. And it's like, I have debts that I can't put off for a decade. I have responsibilities and family and friends and things that I want to accomplish that I can't do if I'm off the grid in the middle of the jungle somewhere, learning how to talk to a fucking rock and actually like take in all of its like ancient history. Like, it'd be amazing if I had that ability, but also it's highly unfeasible. So I took steps back. It's like, what can I do? I have a friend who is actually a ordained, I guess you would say, Mayan temple priest. So when the opportunity comes up to where he's going on one of his, what do you want to call it?
Sabbaticals,
trips, retreats, like, make sure I know well enough in advance when it's happening, save up the money, go and do that for the couple weeks to a month that's happening, take in that experience, and then implement it in bits and pieces, while at the same time going and interacting with other people that I would consider to be an elder or a teacher, and just gaining experience from them. Because we have so many that we just don't recognize or don't see in that kind of light. And they have some really cool stories to tell. And when you're going and interacting with a tribal shaman or elder, you know what you're going to be getting? A lot of stories. So I don't have to travel to another country on the other side of the world to achieve that. I can do that here. It's like, oh, talking to rocks, I can learn how to do that. That's what this fucking thing is.
You're already doing it.
Like, this thing has just everything that I've put together and compiled over the last 3 years. Like, I'm already talking to the rocks. Like, it's not like an actual conversation, but we're having the communication and understanding what's happening. I might not be realizing it in the moment, but the moment I sit down and do the research, or I tap into the knowledge I've already accumulated, I'm seeing, oh, this is what's happening here and here and here.
Hmm.
Like, I'm already a year ahead in what all the grids are going to be. I've even had to go through and flip some months around because, I noticed some things weren't as aligned as I'd like them to be. Because, with the worm moon coming up, I had a bunch of very heart-based stuff. It was very light, fluffy kind of feeling, which is like, that's more of a pink moon kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas on the pink moon, I had the serpentines and like kundalini type stones, and it's like, that's more snake-like. Worms are very snake-like. I'm gonna flip these two. It's like, even though they were already written down, it's just a quick little edit,
Mm-hmm.
No one says you can't change your mind when, the future hasn't come yet.
Yes, sir.
Right? So, and that's a thing. It's like, I had this original plan laid out, and then, doing some further research and seeing how everything's flowing, I realized I need to flip some things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, change some steps around.
Mm-hmm.
And boom. It's more cohesive and it flows nicer. Yeah. Yeah, that's basically everybody that we got floating on around here. And
that was a beautiful 46-minute explanation.
well, there's
sometimes it takes time. Like, this is a fucking crazy grid right here.
Right? But at the same time, with that out of the way, I'm not having to stop in between stones to be like, I want to talk about this, this, and this, and then forget to read about other ones.
No, I feel you. No, I'm digging like the explanations up front so they know.
Right?
You know.
That way, we also know. All right, let's get this all started. Let's go call in those directions.
Don't forget to mention Snoop Dogg and Tupac when you call in the West.
Okay. All right, into the east of the wind, of movement, knowledge, and exploration, the endless pursuit of all that is available to us, and all the things with wings that fly, glide, and soar through the air. We welcome you in.
Welcome.
Now we go to the south, to fire, to passion, to light and heat and warmth, to potential, to energy, to everything that's pushed us forward.
Aho.
We welcome you.
You're welcome aboard.
To the west, to the earth, to nature and all its creatures, to all of our ancestors who've come before us, the descendants who come after, all who are, who were, and will ever be, to those great Tupac and Snoop Doggy Dogg. Even though Snoop isn't dead yet, but hey, it works because he's here.
They do represent some good energy on the West, though.
Right. They're G's for sure. To all the nurturing and groundedness and stability that we're going to need, we welcome you.
Welcome.
I like it how the most potent stone on here is also the smallest one.
Mm-hmm.
And to the north, to the water, to the deep emotional wisdom of the ocean, to the endless fluid emotion that exists within us all, to the cleansing and purifying salts and rivers and seas, to all the things that live inside of it, great and small. We welcome you. Now, we gotta start with our lovely pieces of I like to call these insanity.
Vogel ones?
Vogel wands. Yep. Like, so insanely potent. But I love that I drilled holes in here that I can stick them in.
I love that too. Smart.
Mm-hmm. Ishi, how do you want to play you?
All right, folks, play by play. What is he going to grab next? You will not see him. You will only see his hand reach in. I'm going to...
See what I mean?
He goes for the hematite. And if you're not careful, folks, hematite will bite. Am I wrong, Aaron?
I mean, it could. It can be a dick like that.
Honestly, I was just trying to rhyme because I like rhyming things.
Appreciated.
Beautiful.
The Genesis Stone.
Guys, I know I haven't mentioned this, but thank you so much. If you're still watching with us as we build this grid, leave a comment below. Let us know how you're doing. And remember, please, 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 we do this not only for ourselves, but for the collective and for you. So please hit that subscribe button so you can come back and watch the monthly grids. And yes, I will be trying to convince Aaron to start a Crystal Chaos TikTok with short videos soon, even if I have to shoot him and post them for him. We will get something going here. We're hoping. But right now, you can subscribe to the YouTube channel. And if you have any questions, you can email chaosgrids@gmail.com. In the description below, you can find that. But yeah, come join us.
Well, I was planning on doing the whole TikTok thing anyway. But once I start building my Tesseract, because I can do just a whole bunch of shit.
You get to document like the steps.
Because that'll be a fun little project. I love telling my computer nerd friends about it because when they understand what I'm going for, and the fact that it's essentially like a battery, they're like, you should try to see what happens if you put some diodes onto it and see what the current's like. I'm like, yeah, This is probably gonna do exactly what I thought it was. And then I have two nice lines. Opposite sides.
Connecting the spaceship together.
Actually got more. Actually, I'm feeling. I'm gonna do one of these instead. Yeah. We're gonna go from up top. The problem with being crazy is everything wants to change until it's perfect.
You guys are watching change happen in real time, which is a beautiful thing to witness.
Right?
I'm going to get on my...
It's put in that
legs hurt.
aspect of, seeing possible futures beforehand. Seeing
Guys,
how it lays out and being like, I don't like how that looks.
Guys, if you hear me grunting and I'm just a little sore from today. So if you hear me grunting, no big deal. It's just my beautiful, amazing vessel doing its job.
I mean, you're a 40-year-old man who decided to pick up karate. Right? That's no small feat.
And I'm making sure I'm moving every day and what I'm putting into my body, there's just so much going on with my body,
Oh, yeah. But as you said, your body's your temple and you gotta take care of that shit.
Yeah. I know it's hard to believe that I'm fucking 40 now. Like, maybe it's because today's a full moon, but just saying that makes me a little emotional. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not a bad thing. It's just, it's just weird,
Right? Because, like, we can always go back and say, what were our parents doing when they were
Right.
40? And
They weren't doing this shit, that's for sure.
Right?
Mom and Dad they raised a hippie. And they didn't even know it.
Right?
Here we go. You're fucking taking this to a whole nother place right now.
None of that.
No, I was going to say none of that shit.
None of that bullshit right there, sir.
Apologies.
Better fucking. I chose a 9-hour thing, so yes, I'm listening to it. And because I have it, that lovely guy.
That's a big piece of magnesium, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Bringing out Galena, shiny ass motherfucker.
She's a beaut, man.
Of course. Only have 6.
6 what?
Of the large Axinite.
Mm.
Or it's like 8. Beggars can't be choosers. We're gonna do one of these little guys. Put the magnet right there.
Magnetize that hoe. Magnetize that hoe.
See what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that one's got a high magnetite content. That's why I refer to this guy as my magnet. Because if I'm doing some intensive... Hey, stop that. If I'm doing some intense energy removal work or entity removal, cord cutting, I will grab this guy and he will be on the hand where... Oh, actually, I can show you. I'll put him in my palm. And this, typically like that. And it's sitting there and just pulling whatever I'm cutting and pulling out. Because this guy, I call this particular piece my witch's finger. Because, well, it looks like one. It fits very nicely. And I use it to energetically cut you open and fish out shit that shouldn't be there. I would do like that. Yeah. Okay, let's get these guys back down.
What are those little guys again?
This is Axinite. It's one of the random little gemstones that I like to find that most people don't know about, aren't aware of. Like, don't know what it does. Never seen it before. Like, for me, there is nothing more satisfying than going to a crystal shop owner, showing them some crystals that they've heard of but never seen. It's like, I got connections you don't. I've actually got a couple of those, and I'll show them off to Jeff every now and then, and he's just like, so cool.
Dude, your hand is fucking sweating. Not surprised.
Yeah, well, it's a curse.
All this fucking...
These guys here are actually going to be going into my Tesseract when I make it. And they're going to add the pyroelectricity into this thing. So as it's heating up and curing, it's going to be sending out a fucking electromagnetic energy. Good times. And folks, if you don't have at least one friend that you would consider to be a mad scientist, go get one. We're interesting people.
Yeah. Aaron's my one. Well, actually, I got a couple mad scientist friends now that I think about it. But yeah.
Right? You've expanded your horizons.
Mm-hmm. But Aaron is definitely one of them.
Right? I feel like I kind of helped with the... Like, well...
You did.
You're weird. Not quite as weird as somebody I know, but...
Yeah, Aaron has been good at... Like, Chad, just... You're weird. Embrace it.
Mm-hmm.
He's been good with me for that. I just like all... Open to many different things, you know? I don't like to put myself in a box, so... Yeah, you've been great for that for me.
I mean, got a song about it.
Mm-hmm.
Houses, boxes, locked cages.
Woo! He knows it. Takes away my breath, so let me see the error of my own ways.
Yes, sir.
All right, folks, if you're wondering why we're at a low angle, I had to just sit down. My body is feeling the burn tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Got to get a massage. That's what I need. I always say that, though. I'll never get one.
Yeah, well. As it is, I am a projector, therefore I wait for the invitation.
Yeah, and
you
I'm...
want shit, you gotta ask.
And I'm a generator that fucking grinds.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes even though my body is my best friend this year, in the past I haven't thought about my body. I'm just sore from like all the stuff I'm doing because I love my body right now. You were hoping I was going to sit up like that.
Right.
Let's go do it.
Ha. Just gotta give it a little angle.
Yeah. There you go. Shalom.
Shalom. Shalom. L'chaim. How to know if you got a friend with any kind of Jewish heritage? Ask them to say a Jewish word. Because I firmly believe the only people who can have a little bit in them.
Word, I feel that.
Mm-hmm. We're going to go like that and go like Shazam.
That's like its own little claw on its own.
Mm-hmm.
This is definitely a grounded grid. Like it's just look at all the colors are like earth tones. Most of them anyway.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, that's my baby. That's like a fucking scoop of cookies and cream right there.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
For those who can't tell, this one's not attached.
It just fits in there kind of like
You see all that lovely little green stuff in there?
Mm-hmm.
Epidem.
Nice.
So anything that's kind of, if you're having some obstacle issues, you won't.
You won't.
Just keeping it blunt. Okay. What do we tell death? Not today.
Not today, death.
You're not broken until you can do that. Stretch and have everything pop.
It's a beauty.
Mm-hmm.
This little red joint tower is really popping out.
Mm-hmm.
That's the south for you.
Yeah. That's fire.
That's that dirty.
That's also a lovely piece of cinnabar infused quartz, otherwise known as
Your mama's house.
no.
No.
I was going to say fuck you.
Fuck, I fucked you up, didn't I? Sorry, man. I do that to my wife all the
I was
time.
gonna say
Neil, you be yelling at me.
I know. I'm not gonna yell.
So it's also cinnabar.
Also known as Mother Earth Stone.
Mother Earth Stone. Well, I did say your mama's house, Mother Earth's
Yes.
stone, so
Yes, you did.
Intuitively, I was kind of right.
Mm-hmm. Am I gonna give you shit for it though? You bet your ass. Yeah. Look here, you motherfucker. Sit there. Sometimes you gotta talk to them a little harsh. Just like kids, you know. They're gonna listen. Let's see, how many things do I got? 2, 4, 6,
12, 16,
18.
I'm digging that shirt.
Oh, thank you. I've had it for a very long time. Because, you know, why replace clothes if they still fit, right?
Yeah.
If it still looks good and not like shit, keep it. I knew something wasn't right. I went through and did everything evenly. Like that.
Boris must have just came out to say hi and then went back in.
Mm-hmm. I just went back to sleep. That's how you know he's not feeling good.
Guys, if you're wondering where Boris is this episode, he's not feeling good. So he came out to say hi when I got here.
And then fucked off. Mm-hmm.
Tell me what you want, what you really, really want.
I'll tell you what I want, what I really, really want.
I want a full wolf moon 2022. Do.
Okay.
Just recapping, guys. If you're still here, leave a comment below. Let us know you're rocking with us. January 2022. Wolf full moon in Cancer. We haven't even talked about Cancer, so Aaron is a Cancer moon, aren't you? Are you not?
I'm a Cancer sun.
Cancer sun, so
Well, just
And my wife is a
don't
Cancer
be
moon.
surprised if emotions are a little high.
My wife is a Cancer moon. Today is the full moon, and we're shooting a video a little late. We'll get it up tonight, but she was kind of an emotional wreck today. Sorry, baby, if you're watching this. She's like, I'm a Cancer moon. It makes so much sense.
It's like, yes, it does. Now stop crying. It's like, it's okay. Chill the fuck out.
She's good at feeling her feels.
Mm-hmm.
She knows what it is.
Oh, yeah.
Got me feeling my feelings. Ay, 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 ay. I'm just feeling my feelings. What else we got here?
Coming to the magnesium.
We're going to the magnums.
Magnum condoms.
What? The hell?
What?
This got dirty?
Who said that shit? Well, me. I'm straight PG.
So this full moon is taking place on January 17th,
Yes, sir.
2022, which is today,
Tonight.
and yeah.
Tonight's gonna be a good night.
You know Aaron's in a good mood if he starts singing Black Eyed Peas, guys.
Because I don't even listen to that shit.
Exactly.
I mean, any other song that I get in my head as of current times is not in English.
Yeah, everything's
So
from other countries.
I can't pronounce the words too good. And I'd rather not make a fool of myself on camera. Trying to, emulate Scandinavian and Slavic languages.
Scandinavians are cool people.
If there's any of you watching, we actually mean that.
Yeah, for real. Like, y'all are cool.
100% rock that Viking blood,
Rock that Viking blood. Cancer full moon and the wolf howling. Ow!
Every man thinks he can handle a badass Viking queen, but they don't realize he can't cheat on them. Because you cheat on your queen, she can cut your balls off.
Is it like a Viking tradition?
Yeah, they have. Women are the ones with the autonomy there. It's like the men might be the warriors and the fighters. Your woman's in charge of your finances. If you engage in the raping part of the pillaging and you're married, she has every right to divorce you and take everything. If you cheat on her, she has every right to cut off your balls and hang them. It's like a door knocker.
Wow.
Hey, you don't fuck with the queen, man. Know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Know what I mean, Jelly Bean?
I'm liking this little quadruple bridge.
Yeah, it's kind of...
It's like a bridge of magnesium leading to the center.
Mm-hmm. It kind of gives it a nice little flavor.
That was kind of a serial killerish, but
Well,
pretty sure I heard some Silence of the Lambs action or something in there.
it puts the lotion on the skin or it gets the hose again. Hello, Clarice.
Hello, Clarice. It puts the lotion on my chin.
So let
I guess it's getting real weird at the end of the grid build here, guys. If you're still with us,
seriously,
we love it.
All right, a
little bit of Paulo in our lives, a little bit of Monica.
Pasa. You're a slow burner.
catch fire, Monica.
Come on, Hunger Games. Catching fire.
I was a little slow on catching that one.
It's okay. Pop culture references.
Yeah, it's okay. Like, I tell jokes all the time, nobody laughs, and they're like, they just don't get it. It's before it's time.
And also, nobody expects me to throw off a pop culture reference.
Exactly.
It's like, did you just say what I think you did? Yeah, no, let's get out of here. You know, like the other day when I randomly said to your wife, I said apple bottom jeans, and she got mad at me. Like, don't you say how it's stuck in my head. I'm like, good, I don't even know the song.
Yeah, I'd be seeing just random old songs popping in my head that were like hits, and I'll see them in the morning. She's like, that will be in my head all fucking day now.
Sounds like your shit. Just kidding. We love you, Neely.
It smells good.
Just got to do a quick little bird's eye adjustments without getting blinded by my own smoke. It's like you don't know about that anymore because you quit.
Smoking?
And it's like sometimes if you're
Oh, that
holding
hurts.
it, like you're holding it in your mouth when it's a little too short because like you're doing something.
Mm-hmm.
You're just like, ugh.
Mm-hmm.
I'm blinded by my own poor choices.
Aren't we all?
Yeah, that's why I'm never gonna use the mindset of fuck it, I'll just stick my dick in it. I mean, what? Who said that? That is vulgar and uncouth.
It's looking good.
Thank you. Thank you.
It feels very grounded, very calmy. Like
No.
usually I'm tweaking the fuck out, but
Right. Fucking up that south, man. Getting it all jumpy.
Adjust it if you need to, because I don't know if I put it right in the right place.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Like I typically don't do grounding grids or even utilize grounders in my grids because if you show them what's underneath there.
Yeah. It's pretty grounded under here.
All the way the outside on those big ass motherfuckers, those are obsidian.
Yeah.
Right underneath the arms with these guys, that's basalt, lava rock. And then you've got Genesis stone, smoky quartz, some more obsidian. Got some black kyanite over here as well. Like, let's go on doing all this shit. And then, well, that chessboard, that's not really gonna
Let's
ground
not mention
anything,
this guy.
right? The entire table is wrought iron. So it's like, I got enough ground right there.
Yep.
Which is also probably why I decided to make a fucking chessboard of chaos underneath there.
Where'd you get the table from?
Goodwill. $15.
When you've seen it was made of iron, you were probably fucking like, jackpot.
Yep. It's like glass top table, iron leggings. $15. Yes, please. Yeah, didn't even try. And the grounder's like, yeah, we are grounded. What do you want? Need more grounding? Yeah, it's fully ass grounded. And now it's popping that sun. I missed my moonstone one.
What happened to it?
Lost
it?
No, I lost the ball part to hold up here.
Mm-hmm.
Because that thing was my first pendulum. And I used the shit out of it. And we very strongly resonate together. And
You can't swing it without the ball in the end?
you need something to hold on to. Because otherwise, if you hold the metal, like here, I'll show you. I'm just gonna, I'll straight up grab the metal chain. And
yeah, it's not gonna work as good.
Yeah, it's because
You're doing
that
it.
metal is picking up my energy.
Got you.
So it's like trying to use it for something, like it's basically forcing my energy into it, which would be great if it was just for me.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're doing it for yourself, that's perfectly fine. That way you're aligning yourself to the thing. Otherwise, you want to hold on to the little crystal ball at the top. That way you're also releasing your own friction. Your own energy's not in it. As you already see, it's like spinning, or beforehand it was moving back and forth. Because again, it was like going from me to the grid this way, and then it's like, okay, we're gonna align now. I just feel the need to have the magnets engaged.
Magnets engaged.
Like if they're pulling on something, that means their magnetism's going. Okay. And now for Sir Chad's favorite part.
Yes, finally. Wow. That just fucking seals it. You do one more, I'm gonna get a close up of the fucking. It's Deltacon. Pokemon. It's the 10th variant Pokemon.
I mean, we're technically on like the 17th, but details.
Details. Nice.
All right.
How you feeling? It's feeling good.
Right, it's like the energy of this just kind of makes you wanna just pop a squat and sit down next to it.
Yeah, like We are the world. We are the children. We are the children of the rocks. Under his rock.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if I wanted to, I could probably smack this fucker up another notch and fill this in with smoky quartz. But, you know, where am I going to put my peeps?
Exactly.
It's like, I really,
Why don't you just put one smoky in
like,
there?
I would love to get this guy gridded and on the table. He's a new acquisition.
Could he come in the middle and they put these guys in the four corners?
Well, I've actually given myself an idea. That'll probably make you get all giddy and shit. Because you know how I like to be.
Yep.
I've got that guy.
Look at this guy, guys. Wow. This is beautiful. You just got this one the other day, didn't you?
Mm-hmm.
It's a beaut. Smoky is probably one of my favorite stones, smoky quartz, actually.
Mm-hmm.
What are you thinking?
I was thinking.
Uh-oh. He's about to fucking pump this up a notch, guys.
And
Who will be accompanying the west side?
let's see.
To the west, home of Snoop Doggy Dogg and Tupac Shakur. Don't even tell me you're fucking going amethyst.
Well, I was gonna do one of these.
Holy shit.
Pick one.
Mix them up. I'll close my eyes. Eyes are closed. We should maybe put them in front of the camera here. Yep, of course.
Mm-hmm.
The saber tooth.
Dragon's tooth.
Well, which is funny because I keep saying, I've been telling my karate teacher, like, I just been feeling like the spirit of the dragon this year. Like, to me, it's like taking all my talents and weaving them together, you know what I mean? And he was like, well, that's funny because that's basically like martial arts. It's kind of the same concept as the dragon brings all the skills together.
Mm-hmm.
Can I say an observation real quick?
Sure.
And you tell me if it's wrong, but I feel like almost like this guy needs to be parallel with that guy, and then these two together. I feel like this one has more power than that one.
I can see that.
What do you? I don't know, like, because this one feels like it's overpowering, but if you put this one here with that,
Yeah.
I feel like it's a balanced energy.
Yeah, it is a little off balance at the moment, so. Oh, why don't you stay there?
Because those fuckers are powerful.
Yeah, it's like having them on the same side. It's a little bit much.
Yeah, I'm like, I feel like I'm on a boat that's in rough waters right now.
Right. honestly, I kind of wanted him on this side anyway. Because I have a Q next to that cluster. Let's see if I can angle you a bit better.
Oh yeah. Fits in there like a fucking glove.
And now I can go like it's a
little too 90 degrees.
Yeah.
Yeah, that looks fucking beautiful.
I don't even know why we decided to do that, but apparently we did.
Wow. Okay.
Because
what do these do to intensify the grid? Now, basically, it just draws the power into the center to like blast off into the fucking cosmos.
Essentially, because they're coming together. Oh, look how it's just like molding off of that.
Mm-hmm.
Stacked.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of funny. Like your personal aura was pushing the smoke around
when I was standing there.
Yeah. As you saw, it was like it kind of bent a little.
It did.
You know why? You quit smoking. You said no to that shit.
Yep.
So it's like, even though this is a healing smoke,
it's like
because of its physical form, it's like, oh, you're still one of those, even though it is good, like technically healing. But yeah, what these guys are essentially doing is they're taking this energy, which, as of beforehand, there wasn't a lot sending it up other than these. So it had more of a like this energy. So now with those in place, because the ones around the circle are just doing this, right? So fix that a little bit. Kind of indicate that.
Do you tinker with this throughout the month if you see stuff?
Yeah, if like something don't feel right, I'll come over and like
just move it around,
switch something. Occasionally, like I will see something fall over and move, and I'm like, "Why'd you do that?" And I look, and it's like, "Oh, nice shift." Yeah. So these are now essentially taking and pulling in all the energy and lifting it up.
Nice.
And keeping it within that kind of grounded realm, except for the amethyst. Because it's still protective. It's still nice high vibe. But I think it'll help to...
It just needed it a little.
Right? It puts the intellect aspect in there. Because it's a lot of this is all balancing everything, but it's like you need something to be that reminder spark.
Got you.
Because like this piece of Axinite has that epido in it. So that's got that heart-based kind of, and like seek and destroy kind of attitude. So that's going to go internal and do all of its shit, working as everything as it's supposed to be, turning it all in and down and up, where it's like, you need a little bit of, this, you know?
Yep.
Just a little bit, though. Because...
it's like there's beautiful music playing, but you need to bop your head a little bit.
Right? Like, this guy, too much.
Yeah, that's way too much.
Right? Too much energy would throw this. I almost went with the Kundalini citrine over here because this has smoky quartz aspect to it, but it also has that citrine, which is more solar plexus, and like it's more willpower and drive, but nothing to focus it on.
Yep.
So it's like you got to have that.
So you felt like my intuition was right in choosing.
Right. Like I almost thought you would have gone for this one, which is
I didn't know. I just went with like a feeling, you know.
And I was kind of judging by the way your energies, like your hand was acting, because this one actually has fluoride in it.
Did I go back to it a couple times?
Yeah, like every time I felt like you brush over this one, is because you're picking up this one's energy. Because this one, similar to the amethyst, is very kind of up here. Because it's got that blue fluorite. It's kind of that perception and like creativity and all that kind of shit. Where it's like this guy, on the other hand, this guy's more of a power center, more of a little bit of a focus. It's got fucking teeth and shit growing all over the place. Because this guy, not only is he an amethyst, and not only is he a chevron or a dragon's tooth, it's also an celestial. So it's like karma and going into this deeper soul aspect. The parts that are like way out here that are essential or important, or like these are the driving forces that through each lifetime is actually what's pushing us. And these are our ideas, our wants and desires. It's like that guy reminds you. Because a lot of times, how often do you find yourself wandering around life looking for that thing that just clicks for you, makes everything flow? 9 times out of 10, that thing we're looking for is from, like, not a past lifetime, but our original lifetime. That first time we came out. It's like, because back then there were no distractions. Nothing pulling us in the directions other than the direction we were meant to go. And as we live, as we experience, as we grow, like, we go from having one path to numerous paths. Almost innumerable, depending on how old you are. You know? And narrowing it down to that, what am I supposed to be doing? What is that drive? It's like, you gotta go back.
Go
deep. So what that guy's gonna do, he's gonna work with that hematite now, past life recall. He's gonna work with the kyanite and bridge that connection together.
Great. How the fuck did we end up doing that?
And it's with everything coming from down below. This is coming up from literally so high, it counterbalances all of it. Because again, polarity, magnetism, like, gotta have those opposites. And this is good. It's actually a good representation of actually the yin and the yang. Where it's like some of these stuff. Which one was it? The hematite, I believe. Yeah, the hematite is very yang energy. This is very yin. Everything here is very, very yang. This is not.
It's just a final piece.
Right? And if you look at a yin yang, that big chunk of that black or that white has a little circle. The opposite. Because balance. That's like a fucking good point to end.
Key word for tonight, y'all. Balance.
Balance is key. You can only achieve balance if you're grounded. If you're stable.
So that's why the serpent prophet, as I like to call him, the crystal chaos conductor, the grid master, Aaron Twig. I got so many names for you. It's hard to.
I know.
He's here, y'all. Balance this month. He took us to Ground Town. Full wolf moon. How in Cancer, January 2022. This is our first grid of the year, and I'm excited about these upcoming grids. It looks like you really got fucking. I mean, not that you weren't organized before, because you were, but it looks like you're really fucking organized coming out.
I'm much more organized because it was around this time when I created this grid a fucking year ago. Actually, it was like 6 months or so ago. I can't remember. But like, this is where I noticed the patterns in how everything was syncing up, in the steps they were playing, and how it's like we spent the before December and all that manifestation and bringing in, we spent like 3-4 months of setting boundaries,
You ain't got time for your shit.
getting people out of your life that don't belong there. You know,
all this shit lines up with my life perfectly, dude.
right?
It's crazy.
Like, this is why I love having you do this shit, because it's like you're a living example.
Yeah, dude. Like, if this fucking grid's affecting anybody, it's me.
Right?
Straight up.
It could be because you're the guy behind the camera.
Yeah.
Therefore, it's like you're absorbing it on, like, not only mentally,
But,
physically, but digitally. Like, bringing it into like that.
Yeah.
Like, it's like that coexistent realm next to the spiritual.
Yeah.
I kind of see. It's like
Yeah.
the digital is the spiritual we understand, and it's like, so it's like you're bringing it on all the levels. So it's like.
It's literally been my life, dog.
Like, I live in this shit, and it doesn't hit me as hard as Chad does. How does that make you feel?
Makes me feel special.
Right?
Makes me feel like you're building this grid just for me.
Right? But yeah, guys, keeping this energy all in mind of keeping balance, finding your harmony.
Ground it.
Like, this is where we're setting our foundations. This is where we're beginning to break ground. We're setting everything in mind, while keeping our higher intentions in there. Like, this is the focus. Let's get this started.
Yes. So the theme of this month is not only balance, but we're starting off January 2022 with the foundation. So we'll see where we go. Maybe we lay some bricks next month. Maybe we put some drywall up, or maybe we put a roof on the house. But the foundation is being laid today. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. If you want to get notified, hit that little bell, ding, 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 up in the corner. Drop a comment below. We love you. Thank you for tuning in. Email chaosgrids@gmail.com.
Or as you said
a
couple months ago, we love you and we fucking hate you, because it's all about balance.
You dig? We'll see you next month.